Hello and welcome to video 3 on the Introduction to NVivo 12 video series. In this video, we're going to talk about how to run a query for word clouds, create a new node from a query, and do matrix coding. So queries are how you ask questions about your data. You can begin queries from going from the Home tab in the upper ribbon or Explore menus. We're going to first start with creating a word cloud to know which words appear most frequently in a document. Under Home, go ahead and click on the Query option and select Word Frequency Query in this document. Now let's say we wanted to add, or actually remove just so it is into the stop words list. That way it's not going to be pulling this up. We can go ahead and click on the word and then click on Add to Stop Words List. We're going to add it. And then if we rerun the query, we can now see that that word is gone. Now in the tab where it says Word Frequency Criteria, so we have this box, we can actually go ahead and change how rigorous we want the match to be, from exact to stemmed, synonyms, specializations, and generalizations. So we can add that to it. We can change it around. We can also display maybe rather than the most 1,000 words, maybe the most 100 frequent words. And the minimum length, let's say we change this to 4. If we rerun this, we get a little bit more information. Now what we can also do is in the upper right hand corner, there's an option of Add to Project. We're going to assign a name for a word frequency query. Let's just call this, as an example, word count 1, and then click on OK. Now if we go under our search, under queries, there's our word count 1, so it's added it to the project. And then we can click on Run Query. What we can also do is we can see the results on the right-hand tab menus. So if we click on Word Cloud, we can see that Henry and Barbara are the two most frequently used words, as well as East. Now we might want to put Henry and Barbara as the stop words because these are actually the name of the interviewer and the interviewee. You can also export this word cloud by clicking on it, and there's an option, Export Word Cloud. You can choose the file format. There's also things like the word tree, as well as a cluster analysis, but there's not enough items. So I can go ahead and increase this, rerun it. Again, not enough items for the scope, so you always want to be cautious with that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a node from a query. We're going to go then to Explore option. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set the parameters for a new search query. We're actually going to use a text search. So we now have this new option. We're going to search for the word tourist. We're going to leave the top menu as is, so it's going to do all files and external, so it's all sources within our data files. And we're going to go from exact to maybe something more to similar. So go ahead and do synonyms with this. Now what we can do is we can run the query. So we have some different options here. So we can actually preview the different text of where we see tourist being used. We can also click on Save Results. And we're going to change the location from query results to nodes. So go ahead and click on nodes. We're going to go ahead and call this tourist. So if we go back to our nodes option, there's our tourist, and now it's actually coded all of those different ones specifically. So the results, these are all opened up here. So so we have references of where it was found. This lets you see where it was found in each document. The name of the document in blue is linked to the source. You can click on this and now open up the source document. For a future reference, you can view these documents also clicking on nodes and clicking on tourist and do it that way too. We can scroll through the reference view to see if you also agree with this. And so if you disagree, you can actually uncode the text. You just need to highlight the text. Like maybe we don't want this to be coded. We're going to go ahead and remove it from the tourist code. And now it's been updated. What we can also do is we can look at the text documents itself, if there's anything in the pictures, or in the data sets there too. Great. What we can also do too is click on, let's go back to our, so we have our tourist option. Let's go ahead and tourist. And if we go back to it, we can actually do word tree, and this will tell us the word and then the words before and after to provide us more context. Great. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to do some matrix coding. We're going to go to the Explore tab, click on the option Matrix Coding. So make this a little bit bigger. Great. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the plus symbol under rows, and we're going to go ahead and select the items that we want. Specifically, what we're going to do is we're going to go into nodes. We're going to take information about the natural environment. Let's expand this. I want information about the water quality, renewable energy, landscape, habitat, environmental impacts, environmental change, and services. I'm going to click on OK. So we've now populated this a little bit bigger and populated our rows. Now what I want to do is compare that with negative, neutral, and positive attitudes. I'm going to click on the plus here, select items. I'm going to go into the project, go to our nodes. I want to click on attitudes and I want our negative, neutral, and positive. Click on OK. Great. So now if we go ahead and we're going to use all files and externals, run the query, and now we have an example of a matrix table about the attitudes towards the different dimensions of natural environment. This concludes this video on an introduction to NVivo 12. For more information about NVivo, we can also go to some different options, such as coding techniques for NVivo 12, and we can learn more about all the different options. Now, most of the things with NVivo 11 will be similar within NVivo 12 as well. I hope this video was helpful, and happy coding!